live on the other phone. There we go. We'll see if they come back. More importantly, let's catch the damn fish. This is the 4th place I've been to today. I started out this morning after I dropped my girlfriend off at work. I fished behind the beacon on the sun for a little over an hour. No bueno, no luck there. Hopped down to Giant Springs and fished there for like 2 hours. Not a damn thing there. Then I went out to Wadsworth, caught a 3-pound carp and a couple of tiny perch. So that was a bust. And then I gave it a few hours and ate and screwed around for a little bit, and then I came down here. Need to catch something worth a damn. See, that's what I do when I fish over there. You hear that smack and then splash? Yeah. Well, I've broken a handful of lures, and surprisingly, your clips, even swivels, you'll snap the metal. They just shatter if it impacts it just right. No bueno. And you just, there's a lot of weeds on the bottom. And it wasn't like this 2 weeks ago. The water temperature, I think because of the heat, when it heats up, this stuff it grows like freaking mushrooms. It's like literally inches a day. Well, we got a couple of people back. Welcome back. Sorry about that, my battery died on the phone. Wasn't paying attention. Forgot to hook up my external battery. We switched over to a whopper plopper in topwater. It's about that time there's fish starting to surface and eat. Let's see if we can get a pike hungry on some topwater action. They're so fun to catch when they hit topwater. Nothing like seeing a fish jump out of the water after something. Break water and slam down into it.
My worm.
Oh, these skeeters, I keep forgetting bug spray. Let me go grab some of that before I get eaten alive. God, they're hitting earlier down here than they did last night at Largent Bend.
What's in Largent Bend?
Most people bass fish there. There's largemouth bass.
Okay.
And there's some sizable ones in there. I've never been able to catch a good one out of there. The biggest one that I've caught was like 2.5 pounds.
I've been trying anything tonight.
Normally what I fish for there is carp. And if you just want to catch a fish, you can catch the crap out of suckers there too. A lot of people bluegill fish there, but the serious fishermen that fish there are all after bass.
I like fishing for bluegill. There's something about them I like fishing for.
My son, he loves fishing for them. He'll pull them little bastards out all day long. But I try and oversize my hooks so I don't catch them. My biggest nemesis there, now that I've gotten rid of all the bluegill, is fucking turtles. Oh my, have you ever caught a turtle?
I want to catch one.
They are the worst thing to ever have on the end of your line. They are nearly impossible to get the fucking hook out of without just devastating the poor thing. They bite onto it and then they turtle their little bastard heads in.
Shut up and look at that. Should have shown it.
And unfortunately, I carp fish down there mostly, and they love bread balls. They love the bait that I use for carp. So every year I get at least a couple of them. I carry you want to use some of this?
I'm good.
All right. Oh, suit yourself. Oh God, that's gross. Every year, though, inevitably I catch a few of them. And but I bought and carry with me now a good set of dikes, end cutters, just so I can cut the hooks off when I catch them. That, and they come in handy if you ever hook yourself too, because trying to pull a hook out backwards is a fool's errand. And that's basically with turtles. You got to do the same thing: cut it off and yank it out backwards. If you can get a hold of the damn thing.
See, that's what I like about fly fishing is the hooks.
You're just using itty bitty little things, aren't you?
I gave myself a couple body piercings with flies.
I'd never done it until last year. I did one time when I was little. I accidentally, the fishing trip with Dad that you're in the middle of the lake and he's like, we're in 50 foot of water. You don't need to cast the pole. And you're like, but Dad, I wanna cast it. And I hooked him in the back of the fucking head the one time. I was probably 5 or 6, just learning how to fish. But then the rest, I have never hooked myself or anything else until last year. And I hooked myself twice last year with frickin' treble hook. And they are not fun to try and get out.
I keep hooking my fingers. That's my big thing when I get pinned up or when it gets hooked on like weeds or something.
Last year, I hooked myself once in the arm with a little micro treble, and it wasn't that bad. It was still a pain in the ass to get out. But the other one was with my Bandit 100, and it's a good sized treble. And it was actually at this fishing spot. I had the pike in the net, and I was trying to grab a hold of the pike to get the hook out, and he just started thrashing, and one of the hooks grabbed just right in the fucking web of my hand, tore like a 2-inch gash in it. And yeah, it was not pleasant. Never any fun seeing the inside of your body, fatty tissues and.
Yeah, I have a coworker that has a little hole in his neck, like not this part, but the back, because he had like neck surgery or something like that.
Some kind of like drain.
Yeah, but they didn't fully put it back together. They didn't stitch it up nothing.
Well, they oftentimes do that. There's certain surgeries that you're prone to I don't know if it's infection or just like leakage. And if they close you up, you will certainly get an infection and die of sepsis. So they leave it open, and oftentimes they'll leave just a little tube sticking out for sometimes 4 weeks, 6 weeks, and it's just to allow the wound to drain. They just left a giant gash? That don't sound right. Did they tell him why he gets left with an open gash?
They weren't supposed to.
Oh,
And so now he's suing
somebody
them.
just forgot fucking step number 10.
He got to close them up. So now he's suing them for like $250,000.
Well, that'd be a nice payday if you get it. Oh, these weeds are killing the plopper. They don't run right if they pick crap up from the surface of the water.
You'd think I cleared out all the fucking weeds already.
I say that every time I come here. We're still here trying to catch a pike. We switched to a whopper plopper. I might have to go grab the Timu whopper plopper. Get off of there. Get this thing pulled like 10 feet, and then I pick up a piece of junk off the water, and it don't want to plop no more. Yeah, you never know, man. You might get something off of them. I know up at Pishkin this time of year, they have pretty good luck with frogs and ducks. Still want to get the snake. I'm telling you, man, they're neat. They're just like wavy across the top of the water. It's such a neat action.
You're making me really think we can throw out again.
See, about this $15 really realistic trout, I caught a huge pike off of it. And then I went to, not Crystal Lake, it's the lake before that, I think. I don't remember the actual name of it. But I didn't tie it on correctly to my line,
You'll launch it.
and I pretty much did launch it.
Yeah, I did that with, MEPS number 5 this morning at Gibson Park. Why do I keep starting to say Gibson? Giant Springs.
Hey,
I went to underhand cast it and hooked it. They have those wooden pole holder like benches on the little peninsula by the Roe River, where the Roe River goes into the Missouri there. And I just snagged it right as I was underhand casting and ripped it off the bent. I grabbed just a cheap garbage leader out of my box, not one of the normal ones that I use. And it bent the damn hardware on it and launched my MEPS number 5 halfway across the Missouri. First cast on the damn thing too. I just put it on. Like, we're gonna try out the MEPS number 5, and I whipped it and it went whee. Like, well, there was the MEPS number 5. Moving on now. Isn't nearly as effective as I hoped it would be. I don't know, this used to be my honey hole. Last year, man, I cleaned up at this spot every time I came here. Like one time I came here and got skunked the whole year.
You think Fish and Game would restock this or no?
I have right now that they're stock. Something's wrong with the damn Montana Fish, Wildlife and Park stocking website, like where they show the stocking data. But I've looked. They almost never stock pike in any water body here in the state.
They do at Wadsworth.
Not pike. They stock almost every water body in the state with something, but not pike. Walleye, they stock walleye over there. They stock rainbows. They stock brook trout. But yeah, not pike. Pike, there are a handful of water bodies that very infrequently they stock. And I was actually talking to Fish and Game a couple of weeks ago about it. There's a pond. Do you know where you know where Largent Bend is? Okay, so there's about a half a mile before Largent Bend. It's Flora and Fauna Drive. It's again same left-hand turn, but it's private property, and there's 4 ponds back there. 2 on Flora and 2 on Fauna. And there's 1 pond back there that shows the Fish, Wildlife and Park stocked with pike 2 or 3 times between like 1980 and 1995. And I was asking him, like, what? It's private property. Why the hell would you guys stock somebody's private pond? And nonetheless, with pike, which you stock almost nowhere else in the state. And he said that there's a program with the state that landowners can get basically paid by the state as well as get tax breaks if they allow people to fish their property. Basically, they kind of like how BLM, I think it's BLM land, Bureau of Land Management, or block land management. Like we have right across the street, up this way, there's a sign-in box. You can sign into the box there, and you can hunt that property, whether it be for deer, antelope. I think it also gives you access to go over and fish the Sun River. But they basically, for a tax break, they enroll their property into this program. And as part of that program, if you have fishing spots, Fish, Wildlife and Park will come stock your water body so people can catch fish out of it. And he said that that's almost certainly how and why that pond was stocked. And it's been so long, who knows if, they actually still survive there. But if they do, there are some absolute monsters in that pond back there. They've been back there growing basically untouched for, 30 years. I haven't gone and knocked on the property owner's door, because I don't know how long that program locks the property into public access. I would imagine it's not indefinitely. It's some kind of fixed period of time, and almost certainly less than 30 years. And the fact that it hasn't been stocked since the 90s leads me to believe it's probably no longer in that program. But I don't know if it's winter is even survivable in those ponds. Yo, Danny. Sorry, guys. I forgot you guys were in here. Danny, Cell 18. Yo, good vibes. Say hi. Hey, guys. We're pike fishing. Sorry, I'm over here bullshitting with dude fishing down the river from me. Dang, 13 of you in here now. Welcome, welcome. We've been down here a couple hours. Haven't had much luck. I've had a couple of nice bites at the chatterbait that I was throwing earlier. Nothing solid though. I have thus switched over to a whopper plopper. And we've been throwing this for, I don't know, 15 minutes now. Nothing yet, but right now is about the time that you start seeing stuff jumping all over the place and feeding off the top. Hoping to entice one of these lovely pike that live down here under the bridge like trolls to take a bite out of my whopper plopper. Man, you are behaving. The whole plopper is not supposed to spin, bro. What is your deal? Just you. You got something bound up in there? I think if the whole thing spins, it ain't a whopper plopper. It's either just a whopper or a plopper. Only the tail's supposed to spin on this guy. I don't know what its deal is. How y'all doing tonight? Huh? Anybody else fishing? Anybody else fish for pike? That's what we're fishing for here. There it goes again. As soon as it gets something bound up in the frickin' tail, the whole damn thing spins. These guys down here are just fishing with a bobber and worms. The only thing I've caught down here on worms is bullhead and more bullhead. So somebody catch a sucker once off a worm down here, but I always fish with lures or cut bait. Yeah, like I was saying, last year this whole, I mean, I've had a few out of here this year. In fact, the first fish I caught this year, I came down here and pulled a pike out. But it's been really hit and miss this year.
Well, here soon, what the talks were about with fish wildlife and Carp is they're about ready to shut this thing down.
Well, yeah, this time of year, hoot owl restrictions come in, and it's almost every year. And it's for a month or so. They don't shut it down completely. Basically, you're only allowed to fish, I think it's from midnight to 6 a.m. You basically can't fish in the heat of the day. Because when it's hot out, there's less saturated oxygen in the water or something like that. And just the stress of being caught, even if they're caught and released, immediately, is often enough to kill them. And it's more so for the trout than it is the pike. FWP and most people, they don't give a shit about the pike, they just care about the trout. And trout are really temperature sensitive.
I don't really do a catch and release. I usually just catch and keep.
I do a few a year. I keep what I'm gonna eat. And I find that as much as I do enjoy fish, I don't enjoy fish all the time. It's not like something I'm eating once a week. So when I start running low in the freezer, I'll keep a couple when I go up to Fishkin. I normally don't keep them out of the sun. The fish that I keep, I like to get out of, the cleaner mountain water. This is some of the dingiest water that you could keep them out of. It's not as bad as like keeping them out of the Missouri. A lot of people keep them, downstream from the refinery, and that's just all sorts of nasty. They're not bad out of here. I prefer keeping them. The fish I pull out of Fishkin tend to be way cleaner than the ones I pull out of here and the Missouri. They're always ratty and beat the hell up when I pull them out of here. But yeah, that's why they do it. Is again the temperatures and has something to do with the oxygen saturation, I think. Your name is Michael Lockhart, and you just subscribed to my channel. Appreciate it, Mike Lockhart. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for hanging out here. We are unsuccessfully thus far trying to catch a dang Northern Pike.
See, but to me, it's just a huge sense of accomplishment. Instead of like buying store-bought fish.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I never buy fish from the store. I have enough fish in my freezer at any given time to feed me for the rest of the year, for as much as I eat. I normally cook. I cook it with like pasta, like a fish fettuccine, fish fettuccine Alfredo. You know, the white sauce, cheesy, delicious. Especially pike.
See, I like smoking.
Pike?
I have never tried smoking.
I wouldn't. I don't recommend it. Pike? I don't know how many pike you've eaten. Pike are one of the best fish to eat, honestly, in my opinion, but only if they're prepared properly. First thing is, if you're gonna eat it, bleed it. When you're ready to take it out of the water, 5-10 minutes before you're ready to leave, probably 10 minutes before you're ready to leave, slit right below, and it'll bleed out in probably 5 minutes. You'll have to pick it up every couple of minutes and re-slit because it starts to clot. But getting the blood out of them will take away a lot of the gamey, the fishy flavor. I mean, I like a little bit of fish flavor, but I don't want every bite I take to be like, holy crap, that's fish. So bleed them, and then when you fillet them, the lateral lines that run down the side, you'll notice that they have darker, redder meat that is on top of a much lighter, whiter, yellow meat. Get rid of that. That is the lateral line, the blood line. From what it's been explained to me, the fish, something about their system, and humans, all animals do it. When your body takes in toxins that it doesn't know what to do with, how to handle it, you would think it would just expel it. But with fish, from what I understand, they don't. They do some, but a lot of the heavy metals, the garbage, and a lot of the things that make them taste super fishy and bad gets basically pushed to that lateral line, the blood line. So take off, it's maybe 1/4 of an inch of flesh. Get rid of that red. So if you're gonna smoke them, you're leaving that chunk of really fishy, oily flesh on them. And some people don't mind it. I don't care for it.
See, I don't do that. I do regular fillets and then I smoke them.
See, I've never smoked fish myself. I got a buddy, his dad does it, as well as my grandpa and this other dude that lived across the street from them used to smoke it. I've seen people do it, I know how they do it, but everyone tells me that you can't smoke fillets, that you gotta smoke a whole fish. How do you do fillets?
I just put them in and use cherry wood chips.
Well, because normally they hang them. And like a fillet, I would think everybody tells me it would fall apart. Okay, so you're doing it on like a rack, so it's got airflow. That makes sense. You got to be on the far west coast. Hey there, R6, welcome. We are in Montana, so almost the west coast. We got Idaho and then Washington and then the coast. I think we're considered Midwest. But yeah, it's 9:31. Sun's still setting here. We still got about 45 minutes to an hour, probably closer to 45 minutes of daylight. I don't know. I think this time of the year, you get something like 8 more minutes of daylight every day. And I think about last night, I called it quits at about 10:30 because I couldn't see my damn hand in front of my face. But yeah, and then the third thing with pike, just the sliminess of the skin. They produce way more slime and ick than most other species you would be smoking. So I guess if you're filleting them and then smoking them, that would make sense. I've never done it that way. I'll have to look that up.
Because I've never actually smoked a whole fish.
Oh, yeah, I thought that's how everybody fucking did it. I guess that's how everybody that I know does it. But that makes sense, smoking it on a rack. I mean, shit, I used to work for, in town, there used to be a wild game processing plant called Sean's. Ooh, I almost hit the bridge. That'd have been the death of the Whopper Plopper. But I worked at Sean's and we made all sorts of, sausage and salami and we hung it from racks or we set it. The jerky was all on trays or grates. So I guess you could smoke fish like that.
Or sometimes I bread it and then smoke it. Or it's not the way to smoke it.
Hey, Brad Johnson, he said, what part of Montana? I'm in Indiana, but go to Western Montana for vacation every other year. So I'm in central Montana. I'm just outside of Great Falls, Montana, which is the, I think, third largest city in Montana right now. Used to be second, now it's third. It's around near Helena, Montana, if you know where that's at. We're on the Sun River. And we are fishing for pike, Northern Pike. Unsuccessfully so far. They're just not biting today. I've been 4 different places fishing today. Today, I don't know if it's the pressure or just the water temperature because we've had a heat wave here recently, but the fish just aren't biting well today. Places that I normally go and, I catch lots of fish. I'm getting little to no activity. That's how fishing goes sometimes. Deborah Pott says, I lost the picture for a little while. Oh, was my stream cutting out? Oh, you might be talking about, are you talking about this stream or the last one? Because my battery in my phone died. I had to restart it. I would assume you had to rejoin after that. I don't think it would automatically put you back in here because this is a brand new stream. But I got 3 bars of service here. It's about as good as it gets around here. That was the problem. I tried streaming from Wadsworth earlier. I had 2 bars for a while, and then it dropped to 1 bar, and my stream just shit all over itself. Then I went back to 2 bars, and it was okay for a while. So 3 bars, that's the best I've had all day. Oh, it was the last one, okay. Yeah, I wasn't paying attention. My battery, in fact, I'm at 21% on it now. I had to switch to my other phone. I normally bring an extra battery that I plug into it while I stream, like I do my GoPro. I forgot to hook it up to the damn phone. Okay, they're not having the plopper action tonight. They're not having anything I'm throwing at them. I'm gonna have to switch to an old school freaking jig and rubber. And we'll just climb in the river with a stick. At this point, I think I might have better luck doing that. With caveman on them. I watched a video on YouTube of some kid doing that earlier today. Big old carp swam by him. And he's like, oh shit, I don't have my pole set up. And he takes off his shirt, takes off his pants, and just dives in the water and body hugs the damn thing. Wrestles it out of the water. It was probably like a 40-pound carp. Just a behemoth. Crew Hosh. I'm sorry, I'm gonna murder your last name here. Hobshite. Crew Hobshite. We are in Montana, just outside of Vaughn, Montana, at the Sun River, fishing for pike. And we'll welcome everybody else that joined. And all y'all that are still hanging here with me, I appreciate it. Deborah, you've been here a while. Josie, I don't know if you're still here. Shit, you've been in all my streams so far.
I'm trying this.
Yeah, I can't see anything I got.
It's a hollow swim bait.
Oh, okay. How big's the nose on that? That's probably a 4 to 6 footer. You're probably going to drag bottom quite often with that, but you can try it. Normally the cranks that I throw in here are either lipless or I do the square bills that are the shallow divers. Again, unless you're casting, basically where you cast from there all the way over to the edge gets to be about 8 to 12 feet. From here over, it's like 5 foot to nothing. You got very little depth. Well, plopper, why aren't you plopping? Come on now.
This one just likes to be off the surface. It has a upwards.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
God, I sprayed bug spray all over my damn glass. I can't see anything.
I said it loud. 'Cause there's no way I
Someone,
can.
these old dudes over here are toasting one. I smell the reefer. Okay. What is that? Berkeley Kredge 100 KREG. I've seen those. I've never noticed that it's an upward lip. So does it literally stays, you know, a foot, 2 foot right on the surface?
Yeah, here, hold on.
Oh, it's shallow. If you want some bug spray, you're gonna get eaten.
Oh, what the fuck?
Yeah, I've done that a few times today.
That's how I lost mine. You can just about see it coming across the entire time. See the waves.
Mm-hmm. All right, yeah. I've seen those before. I've never used one. I don't have anything in my tackle box that's quite like that.
Yeah, I got it out of a limb for like really cloudy water because it's really vibrant.
Yeah.
I haven't caught anything off of it though. I don't know what it's actually meant for.
That's half of my tackle box. You just take shit out and throw it. Eventually something will bite on it. Oh, you guys are, yeah, there's two. They're probably in their 70s. I don't know, two old timers over there fishing under the bridge. And it just reeks of some ganja. Nice, sorry my last name is Tricky. Have you caught anything yet? Ah, it's all right, man. Hey, where are you from? Is that like German or Dutch? Hobscheit. Almost sounds like the Hooterite names around here. No, I caught the last place that I was at. I've been to 4 different places today, trying to catch something decent. If you're asking, have I caught something? Yes, I caught something. Have I caught something decent? No. I caught a 3-pound carp, which was fun. In fact, I let my son reel that one in. And then I literally got so bored because I wasn't catching anything that I started bobber fishing like 2 feet from the shore, pulling in perch that were like 2 to 3 inches long. Oh, got another monster on the line here. No, I haven't caught anything good today. The fish are being incredibly picky.
Of course, we're just laying in a whole bunch of leaves.
Nope, I'm losing faith in the plopper here. I might have to switch back over to the old faith. Yeah, they're hawking a lung over there. Must be some good shit, yo. I don't know, let them have their fun. They're fucking old guys. What else are they gonna do? All right, let's go snag a different lure here. Should I throw a spoon? That's one thing I guess I threw a spoon earlier today in Missouri. I didn't have any luck. Plopper, you have disappointed in me. This was the christening, the maiden voyage for, I forget what this one's called, like Army National Guard bass. Yeah, I'm just making shit up. I don't know what that color pattern is. Didn't catch me nothing. Last night we had some bass action on the Timu plopper that I found. Why do I have better luck on lures that I find on the ground at fishing spots than I do on the ones I spend all this good money on? We're gonna pick from, this is my favorite style of pike lure. I don't know if you guys have ever used these before. These guys, you see I have a whole bunch of them here. They are called a Bandit. You got the Bandit 100 series, the square bill. These dive to about 2 to 5 feet. I got a whole assortment of those. And you got the Bandit 200s, they dive, it's like 6 to 8 feet. And then the Bandit 300s, they dive 8 to 12 feet. And you'll notice that by and large, I have duplicates of them because I do lose them sometimes, the white ones. I catch more pike on these dang things. So that's what I'm switching back to. And I'm gonna go with this guy who has seen better days. This lure has had a rough life. It has caught many fish. And it lives. So I keep putting it back to work. It's about time, I think, to swap out the hooks. No, they're still pretty sharp. That one, not so much. But yeah, I have a bunch of them because I do lose them. The way that I fish these, it's it dives 2 to 5 feet, but you're ticking it off the ground constantly, whether it be rocks or mud or whatever. So you do snag up on them sometimes. And I haven't lost this one. This is one of the why I started changing out all my split rings. Especially on the expensive lures, I swap out the split rings. I get rid of the crappy ones that basically every lure that has ever been sold comes with. And I throw on split rings that are usually like a 15 to 20 pound rating plus, depending on how big the lure is that I'm throwing, how expensive the lure is that I'm throwing, how bad it's gonna hurt if I lose it, because that is one of the biggest failure points for them is the damn split rings. As long as you're running heavy enough line, that's where you're gonna lose your lure, your split ring. Or you're gonna lose your fish because you pull the hook off of the lure because your split ring failed. So, if you take anything from this stream, change out your split rings on your expensive lures. Because I guarantee the one that Barkley shipped it with, the one that Bandit shipped it with, the one that all these expensive ass lure sellers shipped it with, they're designed to fail. You know why? Because they want you to buy more lures. So, spend a few bucks, get a package of good ones, and throw them on there. All right, let's get a dang fish. We got 9:45. We got half an hour of daylight left before you won't be able to see me and I won't be able to see you. What was the kerplunk over there? No, I didn't make it. No, everybody just quit talking. That's all right. What did I do with my dang soda? Oh, easy there, Chief. She leapt out of the water straight at me. This is my first time watching a live stream as well. I love watching live streams on YouTube. It's honestly way better, more entertaining content than most of the videos you find on there. At least it is to me. There's all sorts of them on YouTube though. A lot of people, just nature cams. People literally point a camera at a highway. You just watch cars driving by all day. At the marina, people watch boats come in and out. In fact, that's one channel that I watch live streams on. God, what is his name? Oh, I forget his freaking name. It'll come to me. But yeah, he films a marina, people launching boats all day. Oh my God, so many people are so bad at launching boats and unlaunching boats. You would not believe how many people literally just back their shit up into the water, the truck and all. And they get out like, what just happened? As their $50,000 boat and $80,000 truck fucking sink to the bottom. Oftentimes it's like teenagers or younger people that look like they're probably borrowing dad's truck and dad's boat. God, I would be so pissed. I mean, I'd be mad enough if I did it myself, but if somebody else launched my boat and my truck into the water. Boat ramp is prime, people. It is. I love watching that. God, I can't remember his name now. He's so cringe. He's really nice to people, but he's the first to like, oh, dude, oh, look at here we go. This guy has no idea what he's doing. Let's laugh at this. Let's all laugh at this guy right now. And after like 15 minutes of just hardcore roasting him, he's screaming across, the bay. He's like, "Will somebody help this guy? He's gonna kill somebody." God. Alfred. Oh God, what is his name? And yeah, even if it ain't the pike, normally the trout are jumping all over the place here. The carp, there's one. Or was that a baby bird that fell in the water? There's two of them right here. I was talking on stream earlier about how every time I'm down here, inevitably, pew, and you see a little baby bird drop out and float down the river, and it's like, ah, damn it. And I've tried rescuing them a couple of times. I took a couple of them home last year and tried to bottle feed them, and I've had them live a couple of days, but they always die. But as I'm explaining that, I look down and there's two itty bitty little featherless babies here, dead on the side. And of course, my first instinct is, man, that'd be some good pike bait. But I don't think it'd be legal. And in fact, I asked that. Do y'all think if you found, I won't show it again, I'm probably gonna get myself banned on YouTube showing baby bird fetuses. There's these two little featherless birds that are, about yay big that would make some primo pike bait. Do you think FWP would, how would they classify that? Is that a cut bait, a natural bait, an artificial bait, a prohibited bait? I know they let you use reptiles and amphibians here. They're so obvious, though. You can pick them from how they reverse their trucks. Yes, and like I'm not a seasoned boat owner. I've been boating for. Oh, that was a bite. That was, damn it. Wasn't talking and not paying attention. I've been boating, for probably 4 or 5 years. And I still, every once in a while, I'll go to pull my boat in, and it's like, why can't I do this right now? Like, just squirrely. Usually I'm pretty good, and it does. It takes some practice. There's definitely a learning curve to it. But every once in a while, your brain just goes mush, and you're like, left goes right goes which way again? And it's not bad. If I can get straight, my boat straight behind me and pointed at where I'm trying to put it, I can put it. It's when some butthole parks, right in front of the boat launch, and you gotta pull in and then try and back it, curved around a corner. And that's when my brain goes all squish and I do stupid shit that they would all make fun of me for. God, Alfred Montero. He says his name like 1,000 times a stream. Good stream, though. He's always got good content. I don't remember where he's at. He goes to, it's like 2 or 3 different harbors. He's down somewhere, I want to say in South Florida or somewhere in that region where people are putting in fairly good sized boats, you know, little mini pleasure yachts and things like that. And I mean, you're talking 80, 100, 120,000 plus dollar boats. And yeah, they're back there wiggle worming it, trying to, and you're absolutely right. Usually within the first few seconds, you can be like, all right, this is going to be good. But I'm just saying, even people who do know what they're doing, sometimes it just don't cooperate. I mean, maybe there's a point where the experience just takes over and that doesn't happen, but I've been doing it 4 or 5 years and sometimes I look like a jackass when I'm trying to put my boat in the water. We don't have trout around. You don't have trout around there? Where are you again, Brad? They release them once a year, a couple bodies of water, but they're gone quick. Yeah, so they stock almost every water body around here with at least one or more kind of trout. We do have lots of water bodies here that are absolutely just full of trout, though. Halter Lake is one example. It's about an hour from here. And I can go up there. If I had good internet, I don't think I have good enough internet connection to stream from there. But you can limit out. You can get 10 trout in 2 hours trolling there.
It's 50 trout a limit.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
50?
Yeah, up at Halter.
No, it's not. No. They.
Because my dad and my uncle go tournament fishing up there, and they limit out at like 100 total.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to argue with you, but I would highly suggest you check the regulations because I'm quite certain that is not correct. It's 10 in possession, I believe, and that includes salmon. Salmon are part of the trout family; they count towards your limit. The only place that I know of that you can catch that number of fish in a single day that's a game fish species is salmon when they're spawning, and not at Halter, but you can do it at Pishkin, you can do it at a handful of water bodies. When they're spawning, the males are at the end of their life cycle, and they wash up dead on the shore after they're spawning. That's when they turn the bright red and they get the big gnarly lower jaw on them, and they will allow you to snag, depending on which water body it is, it's 40 or 50 of them in a single day. But trout, there's nowhere in Montana you can catch 50 trout in a day. You can catch them, but you can't keep them. Perch, yes. Perch is they're really good eating, but it takes me twice as long to fillet the dang things than it does for me to eat them, and I ain't about that.
Yeah, sorry, I got my species mixed up.
We don't have cut bait. Wait, sorry. I missed something here. We don't have trout around here. They release them once a year, a couple of bodies, but they're gone quick. Cut bait. Or Sandy, are you telling me to use cut bait for the pike? If so, you're absolutely right. I was talking about that earlier. Especially the bigger pike. They've been around the block long enough that they know these hunks of plastic that we're throwing around aren't food. Usually. I've caught some of the biggest pike that I've seen caught, especially in the local waters around here where there's a lot of fishing pressure, have been off of cut bait. White sucker, chubs, shad. Northern Indiana bass fishing is the most common here. Northern Indiana. Okay, so you're East Coast-ish. I don't think that's all the way on the coast, but close. But we have tons of pike muskie on the rivers nearby. Okay. See, that's what we have tiger muskies here in a handful of water bodies, but we don't have actual muskies. And the tiger muskies that are here, the few water bodies that they stock them in, they've been stocking them for long enough that they're quite sizable. I've had one next to the boat that was about 30 inches. And I got close enough to see it and know that I had a tiger muskie on the line, and it shook and spit the hook and swam away. I've had one other one on the line at a different water body that, again, I was fishing with cut bait, and I know it just based upon the hit that it was definitely a muskie. but it was on there for a couple of tugs and then it was gone. The 40, 50 inchers that we have here, I've seen people catch them. I've never been able to get one, but I did get a tip a couple of weeks ago. In fact, 2 weeks ago from a guy I met up at Pishkin, which is where I normally pike fish, about how he's been catching muskie at Ackley Lake, which is near here. So I'm gonna have to try that the next time I'm up there. And I'm gonna have to adjust. No, I'm gonna rub my cable here. Phone's about to die again. And I don't have another charge cable handy, so I'm stealing from my GoPro.